Hey, hello and welcome to today's GFG problem of the day. Hope you're doing well. So let's say today's problem, maximize the cut segments. So what the problem is saying is, will be given an N, which denotes the length of a line segment. And we are given X, Y, and Z integers. So what they're saying is we want to cut the line segment with X, Y, and Z integers. Okay. Such that after performing all the cut operations, the total number of cut segments must be maximum. Okay. So let's see through an example what the problem is saying is. So for example, let's say N equal to 5, which denotes the length of a line segment. Okay. And we are given three integers X, right? In this case, let's say X is 5, Y is 3, and Z is 2. Okay. So we have three options. We have three options to cut the line segment. Okay. So these are the three options. So at each integer, at each juncture, we have three options to cut the line segment. So for example, let's say we cut with X here, right? With X. So what is X? X is 5, right? So 5 minus 5. 5 minus 5, it is going to give us 0, right? 5 minus 5. Here, the Y is 3, right? So 5 minus 3, it gives us 2, right? And here Z is 2. So 5 minus 2, it gives us 3. Okay. So this is 2, this is 3. Okay. So when we get 0, when we get N equal to 0, right? So simply we return 0 again to the parent. Okay. We'll see. Okay. Now we have this 2. Okay. This is a non-negative number. So we again have three choices. Okay. We again have three choices to cut this line segment. Okay. So again, we have 5, X equal to 5, we have 3, Y, and Z 2, right? So now we cut, if we cut, is it possible? So 2 minus 5, 2 minus 5, it is, we are going to get what? Minus 3, right? Here again, 2 minus 3, we are going to get minus 1, and 2 minus 2, we are going to get 0, right? So here, so when we get negative number, right? So it is no longer possible to cut the line segment. So we are going to return minus 1 to the parent. Similarly, here, we are going to return minus 1. Okay. Now here we got 0. So we are going to return 0, okay, to the parent. We'll see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens. Okay, so here now again at this juncture we have again three options, right? So to cut with 5, right, which is X, right, we get minus 2. Here 3 minus 3, we get 0, and here 3 minus 2, we get 1. Okay, we get 1 here. Okay, now let's see. Now let's see this particular example, right? Let's see this particular thing, right? Okay, this particular. So here at this particular node, so we have three. We have like we from like we have three values, right, written from the children, right? Minus 1, and this is 0, right? This is 0. So now we are going to take max of this. Okay, what is the max of this? What is the max of these three? Out of this, it is 0, right? So now what we are going to do, whatever max we get, right? So we are going to just add 1, because we have found one combination. Okay, to cut the length, to cut the line segment. Okay, so what we are going to do, so we are going to return, so here we are done, right? 0 plus 1, it is 1. So we are going to return 1. We are going to return 1 here to the parent. Okay, we are going to return 1 here to the parent. Again, now let's come to this one, right? Let's come to this one. So here it is minus 2. So it is no longer possible. We're going to return minus 1 to the parent. Here we have got 0. So we are going to return 0 here, right? We are going to return 0 here. So here we got 1. So again, it is a non-negative integer. We have three choices, right? So to cut with 5, right, which gives us minus 4, to cut with 3, which gives us minus 2, to cut with 2, which gives us minus 1. So the cutting is not possible. We'll return minus 1 here, right? Minus 1 and minus 1, right? So in this case, we have got three values, right? Again, for return from the children. So when we have minus 1, so simply we are going to return minus 1 only. Okay. From here, we are going to return minus 1 only, saying that it is not possible to cut the line segment. Okay. So now for 3, we have again three values. What are those three values? If you see, right, minus 1, and here we return 0, right? We return 0 here, 0, and then minus 1. Okay. So out of these three, what is maximum? It is 0, right? It is 0. It is 0. So what we do, whatever is the maximum, if it is not minus 1, right, we are going to take the maximum and we are going to add 1 and return. Okay. So here what we are going to return? We are going to return 1 here. Okay. To the parent. Now for 5, we have three values. For 5, we have three values. One is 0, one is 1, and another is 1, right? This is also returning 1 here. This is also returning 1 here, right? And this return is 0. So we'll take the maximum out of these three values, which we got 1, and we're going to add 1, right? Add 1. Okay, if it is not minus 1, definitely it's not minus 1. We're going to add 1, and we're going to return 2 to the output of the function. So the maximum pieces or segments which can be cut is 2. if you see here, and we got the answer. I hope you have got the intuition. Okay, I think when we code, you'll understand better. Okay, before going to the code, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel, like the video. Okay, thank you so much. So first I'll show the Java code. Okay, followed by C++. So what we're going to do is, see, if you see, right, if you see, like there can be overlapping sub problems as well. Okay, there can be overlapping sub problems in this case, right? Because if you see, let's say, so we are cutting, for example, 5, there's 5, then there's 2, and there's 3, right? And again, okay, so what we can do is, so if we have solved the problem, right? If, for example, let's take an example here. So here we had got -2, right? Here we had got -2. Okay, again, we are getting -2 here. Okay, so see, if you see, there are repeated sub problems. So in this case, we'll use memoization or dynamic programming. Okay, we'll use memoization. Okay, so I think you'll understand better with the code. Let's quickly see the code. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take the DP array as well. So what will be the size of the DP array? It is going to be n plus 1, the length of the line segment plus 1. Okay, because we want to return the how many segments are possible for the length n, right? And we are going to initialize this DP with, you'll understand, with code you'll understand, okay, why we're doing this, okay, with -1. Okay, now let's see, we are going to use this util function, util, okay, util, and what we're going to pass, n, x, y, z, and dp, right, and dp. Okay, so here we have dp. Now then what we're going to do, void, or let's say, let's take integer maximum cut utils, int n, int x, int y, int z, and then we have int dp. Okay, so what, let's do the 3 operations first. Cut x, right? For example, if it is written, right? So for example, let's say maximize util. Maximize util, we're going to cut first with x, right? N with x. So n minus x we did, right? And just will pass on x, y, and z, okay, with the DP array. So let's not do anything with the DP array right now. So similarly, we have 3 options, right, to cut the line segment. So another would be y, right? And another would be z. So we get 3, right? We get 3 options. Okay, cut y, cut x, cut y, cut z. Also at the base conditions. So what did I say? Whenever we get n equal to 0, right? Whenever we get n equal to 0, we are going to return 0, right? And if the number is negative, right, less than 0, then we're going to return -1, right? So that's what we did here, right? So when we got 0, right? When we got 0, we returned 0, right? And when we got -3, right, negative number, then we return -1, if you see here, right? We return -1 here. Okay, so that's what we are doing. So the base conditions are done. So what we're going to do here, so int max we're going to take, right, mat.max, cut x, we are going to take the maximum out of this, right, as we want the maximum cut segments, right? So we are going to take maximum out of this 3. So cut y, cut z. So we have this 3 maximum. Okay, now what we're going to check, if max, for example, if max equals to, it is -1, if it is not possible. And let's say if it is possible, right, which is when, if it is max is greater than or equal to 0. So in this case, what we're going to do, return max plus 1. That is, we have found one combination. And we are adding to the max, whatever is the max return, right? So we are going to add to 1. Okay, to do that 1. Okay, now let's see where the DP fits, right? So here we have passed the DP. So let's say for some n, if DP was already computed, if the value for some n, right, if it was already computed, then in this case, so when we say if it is not -1, then simply we'll return DP of n. So we'll save some operations here, right? We are saving some operations here. Okay, so what we are going to do here, in this case, DP of n, it is going to be -1, right? And here in this case, DP of n, we'll assign this to the DP of n. Okay, and we'll return DP of n. Return DP of n, right? Okay, so this is a solution. Okay, now let's see what we're going to check here. So return if DP of n, right? DP of n, if it is still -1, that is the cutting the line segment, it is not possible. In this case, they are saying if no segment can be cut, then return 0. So that's what we're going to do here, 0. Otherwise, return dp of n. Okay, so this is a solution. Let's quickly compile and see if it is right. Yes, let's submit it. Okay, the test cases are being processed. Yes, the test cases are passed. I hope you have got the solution. Please subscribe to my channel. Like the video. A lot of effort goes into this, into making these videos. Okay. So let's quickly see the C++ code as well. Let's quickly walk through. So here, so what we are doing here, we are having vector, right? Or as a DP array, right? And then we are calling this max utils. So what we're doing here, the base conditions I have already explained. When n equal to 0, we have to return 0. If n is negative number, return -1. It is not possible. If the, for some n, if the computation was already done, right? So simply return dp of n. Then we have three options to cut the line segment with X, Y, and Z. We did that. Here we are taking maximum out of these three. And if it is still -1, that is the cutting is not possible, then in this case, for some particular n, we are going to return, we are going to set -1, that it is not possible. And then what we are going to do here, whatever is the max value, right? We are going to add 1 to that combination. That is, we have found one more line cut line segment. Okay. So that's what we are doing here, and simply return will return dp of n. Okay, so this is solution. I hope you have got the solution. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, have a happy, healthy, and a great day. Thank you so much.